Um, Hello, Ninthers, and we're back again. Sorry, and yes, it's not COVID, so I'm just well, it's an allergic reaction, I guess. And well, welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Take it as you watch it. Watch the video. Hoping that you all are getting time enough so as to keep yourself a bit busy with studies, because these times of the year are very very busy for or is very very busy for every one of you, because IPL is going on, and I guess most of you are busy watching IPL or well playing different games. I guess PUBG is back again in the radar. So well, PUBG people do not spend much time on that. But then, even if I say, even if I keep on telling you all, even if anyone keeps on telling you all, you will be doing that. So well, keep doing that. But in the entire day, you can at least give some time to study. So study, and not only my subject. You can study, or you should study all the subjects. Not can study, and not only I wouldn't just ask you to watch my videos, as it is these are very very boring. So it is informative. I'm not making any of those fancy and those cute looking intros, and with those things flashing, and like mathematics classes or geography classes or history classes. I'm not doing that. Not that I cannot do that, but then it does dilute the effect actually. I do not want it to be an entertaining video, but then I want it to be informative. And well, let us get flooded by information, new information. Now, we were doing we were doing the different currents of the Atlantic Ocean. Here you have the Atlantic Ocean, as you can see, the Atlantic Ocean, the over here the North Atlantic, the South Atlantic. We have the current, the equatorial current coming out, the North Equatorial Current, the South Equatorial Current, and the Counter Equatorial Current. We had done that. Over here, this North Equatorial Current moves up, it becomes the Gulf Stream, and then it moves again up as the North Atlantic Drift. This North Atlantic Drift is very, very important in the geography of Europe and in the geography of these areas of North America. What it actually does is that it brings the warm water to these parts of Europe. That is why these coasts of Europe, because if you see these parts of Europe, these are lying in the higher latitudes, and higher latitudes means very, very low temperatures, and low temperatures would cause the shores of these places of Europe and these places of North America to freeze during or to remain frozen throughout the year. And these areas would have been frozen. People would have had a very bad way of life. Economy would have been in a standstill, because if the ports, if the shores, if the sea is frozen, then the ships cannot be coming to these places. But then this North Atlantic Drift, this North Equatorial Current, which branches off as the North Atlantic Drift, this makes the life whole lot better for people living over here in these parts of Europe, the western part of Europe and the eastern part of North America. Why? Because it brings the warm current, it brings warm water to these parts of Europe, and this warm water which comes from the equatorial parts to these parts of the earth, to these parts of Europe and North America, it helps in keeping these areas frost free. It helps in keeping these areas warm, and it does not allow the sea to freeze, and it does not allow frost to accumulate. And these areas remain open throughout the year. These ports, these coasts remain open throughout the year, and economy flourishes. And as you know, these areas are one of the most developed areas. These areas, one of the most developed areas of the world. Now, again, over here we have the Labrador Current. This Labrador Current, this is a cold current. That is why these areas of North America, these areas of Greenland, these areas of Canada, they remain frozen nearly throughout the year. Why? Because this is a cold current coming down. So, cold water is flowing through these areas. The cold current comes down, the Gulf Stream is coming over here, and they meet over here, as I had already told, in Newfoundland. And this creates foggy areas, but it also is a great area for fishing. Now, let us just, excuse my pen, please. Kung Fu Panda over there. Those who didn't see it, you see Kung Fu Panda. That's a fountain pen. Now let us look at the Gulf Stream. The first point says that the Gulf Stream is one of the strongest and largest warm water current that originates from the Gulf of Mexico near about 20° north latitude. So this is the Gulf of Mexico. This area is the Gulf of Mexico, and from here this stream is coming out. That is why the name the Gulf Stream, and it is a fast flowing current with an average speed of about 30 km per day. Its average width is about 70 kilometers. So the total stream or total current is of average width is of 70 kilometers. Some places may be larger, some places may be smaller. So it's 70 kilometers. So you can understand it's a very huge stream, and it is also fast moving current 30 km per day. You may be thinking 30 km per day is not that fast, because sir, I ride my scooty at speeds of 60 kilometers per hour, 70 kilometers per hour. So how is 30 kilometers per day fast? Well, 30 kilometers per day is fast because we are talking of a huge mass of water. You can understand the weight or the volume of water we are talking of, because it is the width itself is 70 meters, and the length, the total length may be of somewhere around 300-400 kilometers. So the width of 70 kilometers, the length of 400 kilometers, and the depth also a few kilometers. So this huge water body is moving, and it is, if it is able to keep that much amount of speed, it is actually a very good speed. Now near Newfoundland, it gets mixed with the cold water of the Labrador cold current, which results in the formation of dense fog. These foggy conditions around Newfoundland are dangerous for navigation of ships. So well, they did forget to mention about the fishing ground. So you will be adding over here, well, this part should be added, and this part is very, very important, that this mixing of the cold and the warm current helps in helps in the formation of, or helps in bringing up large amounts of nutrients. As I have been keeping on telling, cold currents are carrying a huge amount of nutrients, and when the cold current is coming up and the warm current is providing conditions proper for living beings, and the cold current with the nutrients. So it is a perfect place for the growth of sea planktons, weeds, and well, then again fishes will come over there, and if fishes come, can man be far behind? So man will also go there so as to do fishing, and it becomes an important fishing ground. Next we have the North Atlantic Drift. Now the North Atlantic Drift, well, around 40° north latitude, what happens is that the Gulf Stream comes under the influence of rotation of the earth and the westerly winds. Over here what happens is the trade winds are moving this way and the westerlies are moving this way. So they are coming under the influence of the westerlies, and then they start moving towards the west. So from the west to the east. So over here also in the Pacific also we have this, and in the Atlantic Ocean we also have this. So this becomes the North Atlantic Drift, and this is a huge water body moving not that fast. That is why it's called the drift. Drifts do not move very fast. Streams move faster, drifts do not move that fast. Now what do we have over here? Let us see. Its speed decreases as it gradually widens. So as I said, it is not a very fast current. That is why the name is given drift. Well, it is a prominent slow moving current after reaching near Western Europe. So this is the part they are talking of. This is the Western Europe. After reaching here in Western Europe, what happens is that it splits into three parts: eastward to Britain, northwards to Scandinavia and the Arctic, and southwards to, as the cool Canary current. Okay, so that was a lot of information. Let us let us process that information. So over here we have the North Atlantic Drift. North Atlantic Drift moves, one of it is moving, or one branch moving towards, this is well, this is a very bad map and they haven't represented the places properly. So this is England. So one is moving towards England, one is moving upwards, and this area is called Scandinavia. Scandinavia is Denmark, actually. Denmark and Sweden, Norway and Sweden, this area. Norway and Sweden, these two countries make up Scandinavia. So this is the Scandinavia, this is a peninsular kind of place. So this area, this North Atlantic Drift moves to these areas towards Scandinavia. that is Norway. Finland is also there, and well, there is Sweden. So it moves to this area. One moves to Britain, one moves to Scandinavia, and the other moves downwards, and this becomes the cool Canary Current, and which is the Iberian Peninsula. This part, this protrusion, this part which is outside, jutting outside, this is the Iberian Peninsula. Iberian Peninsula consists of Spain and Portugal. So this is the Iberian Peninsula, and then it again comes down as the as the cool Canary Current, and it again forms the North Equatorial Current, and again moves up. A gyre is formed over here. Well, what is the importance of this North Atlantic Drift? The warm waters of the Gulf Stream and the North Atlantic Drift modify the weather conditions of the eastern coast of America and the western coast of Europe, keeping the seaports open and ice free even in the severe winter season. So this is a very important point. And the cold Canary Current flowing southwards merges with the North Equatorial Current, forming a complete cycle, which is called a gyre. So use this term gyre instead of complete cycle. So it should be, let me correct it for you all so that you can correct it for yourself. This gets removed, complete cycle, and this becomes forming a gyre. So over here it forms a gyre, and well, this is the end of today's show. Of today's video. Please take care, stay safe, and thank you for bearing with me.